April 12, 1943. The Solomon Islands, north of Guadalcanal. The Pacific sky is a turbulent blue and white canvas, torn asunder by radial engines' scream. Jungle canopy is burning below artillery fire. Above, at 22,000 feet, a group of Japanese A6M0s shreds through the air like sharks around their victim. Lieutenant Saburo Sakai, Japan's most seasoned fighter ace, blinks from his canopy. He notices something odd: an American heavy fighter swooping quickly to his wing. It isn't the wire-drawn P-40 he has battled previously, nor the stumpy Wildcat his friends derided as flying tubs. This one is strange. Its wings arch down, then up sharply again, as if warped by some design flaw. The Japanese pilots are guffawing on the radio. "Bent wing bird," one of them taunts. "It will never turn with us." But in the cockpit of this peculiar plane, U.S. Marine Corps Captain Archie Donahue advances the throttle of his new-bought F4U Corsair to the breaking point. The huge Pratt & Whitney R2800 double wasp roars, dumping 2,000 horsepower into the turning propeller. The Corsair leaps upward, trembling in the straining but climbing like nothing Sakai has ever witnessed. The Zeros bank, anticipating another easy victory. For almost 2 years, the skies of the Pacific have belonged to Japanese pilots. Their lightweight Zero, deadly and agile, has torn apart almost every Allied fighter it has been sent against. Translating battles into dances of death, they've won hundreds of victories. They expect the same fate for this ugly newcomer. But as Sakai yanks his stick sharply left, hoping to outturn the lumbering Corsair, a jolt of understanding makes him shiver. The American fighter's not falling back, it's closing in. The Corsair doesn't attempt to mimic the Zero's tight turns. Instead, it dives, builds up speed, then climbs once more with merciless efficiency. Donahue gets set up. 6.50 caliber Browning machine guns erupt, weaving fire across the sky. A Zero explodes into flame, spinning into the Pacific below. The guffaws on the Japanese radios go abruptly silent. What was once ridiculed as a clumsy blunder has just demonstrated itself a hunter. And at that moment, Japan's most feared fighter pilots start to realize the balance of the Pacific skies is about to change. The radio silence in the Japanese radios rings out louder than the Corsair's thundering engine. But to know why the pilots teased it in the first place, we must come down from the battlefield to the factory floor, years earlier before that first duel. In 1938, as storm clouds were gathering in Europe and Asia, the U.S. Navy called for a new type of fighter plane, one faster and more heavily armed than anything the Japanese could possibly construct. The specifications seemed almost impossible to meet: a top speed in excess of 400 miles per hour, a heavy armament of heavy machine guns, and the range to attack from the cramped, unforgiving aircraft carriers. Vought engineers responded with something revolutionary. They built the Corsair around the most powerful engine then in existence, the behemoth Pratt & Whitney double wasp. But with this enormous engine came an enormous propeller, 1 over 13 feet in diameter. If they put that propeller on a standard fuselage, it would hit the carrier deck on takeoff. The answer was as unusual as it was masterful. Vought flexed the wings. At the root, downward, then, sharply upward in the shape of a gull, resulting in the Corsair's distinctive inverted gull wing. It permitted shorter, stronger landing gear without obscuring the propeller from the deck. Practical, efficient, and to many of those who were first to see it, straight up weird. When the initial prototypes were delivered in 1940, test pilots were amazed at its speed. In October, the F4U was the first American fighter to register over 400 miles per hour in level flight. It was, in raw terms, the world's most advanced fighter. But paper perfection did not necessarily convert into combat perfection. Landing tests revealed brutal weaknesses. The Corsair's long nose occluded forward visibility on approach. Its powerful torque resulted in wild swerves. Carrier pilots cursed it as merciless. The British Fleet Air Arm, who flight tested early examples, nicknamed it the Ensign Eliminator for its tendency to crash inexperienced pilots into the sea. While they were across the sea, however, Japanese pilots practiced in their beautiful, light as a feather Zero. It had none of the Corsair's tricks. It soared like a hawk, rolled inside almost anything, and killed straight. Compared to such an adversary, the new American fighter looked clumsy and brutish. So when Japan heard about the Allies flying this peculiar, bent-wing fighter, the response was inevitable. The Japanese High Command wrote it off as too heavy, too ugly, and too defective for meaningful combat. Their pilots were ready to swat it out of the sky like they had swatted every other American airplane in the past. But what they did not know, what as yet nobody had realized, was that the Corsair was not built to dance with the Zero. It was built to stalk it.